Today I want to be talking about our product Genzil Car Mode. This is our AI agent environment designed for professionals on the move. And I want to basically talk about how that works. So Genzil Car Mode, AI agent from the driver's seat, sets the stage clearly. It's obviously not just a general voice assistant. It's really targeting executives, operators, or field teams. Basically anyone whose job keeps them away from the regular desk, often in transit or commuting, traveling, or meeting at airports, that sort of thing. And of course, the time it can feel really unproductive. And we call it previously unproductive travel, commuting, or waiting time. So from a business standpoint, it's a big chunk of lost potential. Our mission here is to show you how Genzil Car Mode, the car model, command action result, flips the script and turns lost hours into real execution time for busy people like yourselves. What exactly is Genzil Car Mode? It's a mobile-first AI-powered environment, and the key thing is enabling real-world command for business functions wherever you are. So less about just asking for info about the business and more about actually getting things done, right? So it's built for those times you can't easily type or click, or even when you're driving or on a train or commuting or running between meetings. It does this by blending a voice-first AI interface with what we call enterprise-grade workflow orchestration. Think of it like automating sequences of tasks that usually involves multiple steps in a company. Sending a specific contract, updating your sales CRM, updating tasks in your product board. Orchestration essentially means Genzil can streamline these actions together automatically, triggered by your voice command. So you combine that with the ability to manage complex workflows. Let's talk about the outcome. It creates a zero friction experience, and it's all built around this central idea, the command action result model, CAR model. Genzil doesn't just reply, it executes, because it's meant to be transactional. We're kicking off processes and we're not just asking questions, which brings me back to the core problem we're solving, and that is really leaders lose hours in motion. So time with zero productive effort, missed opportunities, delayed tasks. So the goal is really to transform those spaces, your car, the airport lounge, the cafes, into mobile AI command centers. So turn downtime into do time. And of course, the main tool you need for this command center is just your voice. So this is the primary interface. Let's dig into the CAR model. Command action result. How does this sequence actually work in practice? It's designed to be a simple three-step loop, really optimized for your hands off when you're busy. Command, you just speak your command out loud. There's a wake order activation that determines whether this is business or private. Then it activates. Step 2, action. Genzil interprets that command, and this is key. It doesn't just acknowledge it, it actually triggers the work using what we call AI agents. So these specialized AI agents for specific tasks. Understand the intent and then execute the required function or a series of functions. And the final step, result. Genzil delivers the outcome. It's a simple confirmation like, okay, task completed, or it could be a summary generated, or it confirms a file was sent or saved somewhere specific, or contracts updated. Let's look at some of these commands. For instance, schedule my next team sync with updated agenda, or maybe something like summarize sales pipeline performance for the week. It shows a lot of the execution part. So let's just say you want to generate an investor follow-up call from the last email. You're not asking for notes, you're actually asking for creation. Let's look at an example. So command in this case is send a legal NDA to John and get his e-signature. So that's a clear instruction, outcome focused. The action in this case Genzil will take, handled by the agent, is to draft the NDA by either using a template or context and then send it via DocuSign. The status is updated in the CRM and a notification pops up in Slack or Telegram. You get confirmation knowing the process is on the way. So that example really drives home how the CAR model takes what might be 5 or 6 manual steps across different apps and collapses it into one single voice command. This is the core of turning downtime into real execution time. It gets around all that friction, unlocking the phone, finding the app, tapping through the menus, searching, typing. All of that is hard or not even possible when you shouldn't while you're driving for safety concerns. And that direct link from voice command to completed action, the way the car mode solves that, especially on the go. The key features that make the car model work include the voice activated command center itself that uses natural language, and it's optimized for noisy and distracting environments like in a car or a factory floor. Short, clear prompts, get in, get the command in and out. So focus on execution, not just the chat in that case. And then there's smart context sync. And this is important because it's not just generic web search. It acts as your specific business, like your calendar, your files, your contacts, your company, CRM data, ERP, project board, task system, database systems, all reachable via voice. So you might ask, how does it know which John to send the NDA to or which report, right? Context is everything here. And this is where the smart part comes in. It understands business context like your role in the company, the urgency based on your calendar and permissions, and a personalized memory model, meaning it learns about you and who's your assistant, your legal team contacts, or your main investors, tailored to how you work. For instance, things like getting daily executive briefs read out to you on the road, getting action items summarized right after meetings finishes, that type of thing. Custom dashboards delivered by voice or on a simple screen. Imagine finishing a call while you're driving and asking for a quick summary of items. That's useful right away. Other examples might be a range of actions through integrations like smart calendar agents. It doesn't just read your schedule, it can handle rescheduling requests and even help prioritize based on criteria you set in the backend. You can move your one-on-one with Sarah to tomorrow, for instance, and dealing with files when you're not at your desk. So file plus contract handling. So you can say, find the latest contract with company X, or just the key terms, and it'll read that contract back to you. Super helpful if you need information fast. So you can take dictation for notes during a call, giving you quick prep summaries before a call connects, and even draft follow-up emails or tasks connected to your Jiras, all voice driven. The core of the workflow orchestration engine is a single command that triggers a whole sequence of predefined actions run by different AI agents. So, trigger hiring sequence or run an onboarding flow. Those types of commands are triggering entire workflows behind the scenes. Get it to post a job description, notify HR, schedule screening calls, send a confirmation email, a whole multi-step process essentially that Genzil will handle in the backend through this agent workflow. Leveraging future things we're looking at is geo-where update. So it will know you've landed in London and automatically adjust your time zones for scheduling or offering location-specific info like, restaurant closest to your meeting, that type of thing. So let's look at privacy and talk about usability in the UX. We have an auto privacy governance. It's not listening unless you explicitly activate that function. It helps build user trust, and commands are very intentional. For businesses, compliance is huge. GDPR, SOC, HIPAA, the usual suspect for enterprise-grade software is obviously supported. While driving, you can't stare at a screen, so it's a car UI designed to be Siri-like in its simplicity. So voice is the main interaction. And let's say you're in a tunnel and you've got bad signal and you've delivered your command. We've got offline voice caching. So if you give a command and you're offline, it stores that command and then executes once you get connectivity back, so you don't lose the instruction. Let's bring this CAR model to life and talk about use cases. Let's imagine you're an executive stuck in traffic and you need to prepare something quickly. A spoken command could be record follow-up for the board, common need after a meeting. And the executed action in this case will be Genzil will draft the follow-up note and email. It will even file the related agenda items automatically. So it takes the executive's dictated thoughts, context from the calendar or previous communications and emails, drafts something coherent, and then handles the actual relay of the document and the result. So the result is a ready to send email with attachments already linked, and the executive has this human in the loop step where when you're back at a desk, you can then trigger that or just improve that. So it turns traffic time into drive time. So let's imagine you're a sales lead driving on the highway, heading to a big client meeting. Your spoken command could be pull up competitor trends and give me some last minute intel. So the action will be Genzil will call market intelligence agents backing into internal analysis or knowledge bases or external data feeds through the AI and access relevant data sources and of course the delivered result. So it will summarize and give you a 2-minute voice brief, and the sales lead gets that critical information audibly, safely while driving. So they arrive better prepared. An ops manager is driving to a site where there's an issue. Their spoken command could be launch emergency supply info, for instance. That's a complex preset process, right? And it's a micro agent stack job in the background. So the action would be involved sending emails, assigning tasks in the system, pinging people on Slack. So one voice command sets off a whole chain reaction across different communication channels and task systems and instantly gets the right people alerted and the response started. The result will be a confirmation that the crisis protocol has been activated, and that shows you can kick off significant operational procedures just by voice while driving. Crucial in time-sensitive situations. So that CAR model essentially gives you real operational leverage during times where, frankly, time is wasted, and obviously shows the potential to turn that downtime into real valuable execution time. So let's talk about who this is built for, but I'm going to get out of the car and then I'll talk to you about this in the next recording. So we said we can kick off significant operational procedures just by voice, which is really crucial in time-sensitive situations. These examples hammer home how that model gives people real operational leverage during times usually wasted, and it shows the potential to turn downtime into valuable execution time. So let's talk about who this is built for. Roles like executive teams, sales directors, fund managers, operation heads, on-the-road consultants, international business travel executives, founders, people constantly on the move. The common thread is people in leadership or field roles. They spend a lot of time not at a traditional desk. These are the guys that need to use the downtime in motion, daily commutes, cross-country flights, managing teams in different time zones. And they have a high need to get things done regardless of where they physically are. So looking ahead, let's talk about where we want to take the product and some future expansion. Fleet mode. Think about a fleet service engineer with shared access to agents for coordination, for instance, can update statuses or share info easily while up and about. Another is OEM partnership integration. And the idea is to have Genzil Car Mode potentially built into vehicles, especially leasing car vehicles for company fleets straight from the factory. So seamless integration from day one, depending on the industry. And lastly, offline agent packs. These are downloadable bundles of AI agents that can work even if you have zero signal. So imagine on a flight. These are all ideas we want to implement into future topics we're bringing into the product. So let's look at the voice first operating system for business on the move. It's designed to capture hours lost in travel and commuting and convert them into productive execution time. So that's aimed squarely at making executives, operators, sales teams, anyone mobile, more effective by letting them manage complex tasks, all just using your voice while in transit or away from the office. Looking at the bigger picture, we have increasingly mobile workforces around the world. The strive for efficiency plus AI and voice tech is getting so much better. So it makes you wonder if Genzil can succeed in turning dead time into productive execution time for a significant amount of professionals, how that's fundamentally going to change our whole concept of how work gets done, or even where it gets done. So the physical desk becomes less central to executing core business functions. So if this is something for you, connect with us. I hope this was informative and given you some ideas into how Genzil Car Mode works. Thank you for your time.